now, Albuquerque.
Forgot you did that for a second. You caught me by surprise this time. I forgot about it. I just forgot about it.
Live at the Duke store. You know what that means?
Doing both of them. Love it.
Steve Palmisano's here. Steven.
I totally forgot that that's how you do that.
You don't listen to the show. That's the problem.
I listen to it every other week.
You're on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Steve, how's the store?
You know? Board it up.
It's up. The ventilation is better.
Can't see out one of the windows.
It is wild. Is there a mayoral election? We got it. Steve, come out to Steve Palmisano at the Duke store intersection of Carlisle and Central Nautical Shopping Complex. The building and store is open, but there is a big piece of plywood on the glass. So this is a motion. And you had a flamingo poster there previously. You think it's a flamingo here that broke this down?
No, they let this one. Crawled right past them.
You have a video of this?
I do.
That would make it good if you really saw that. This way, there's no audio. So
Isham Dental, video bite of the day.
Yeah, that's not on the one that I have.
I get that Duke's hats are the hardest money. Like I get it.
And what you sell them for, you're basically giving them away.
We're not the most expensive in town.
I would upcharge a little more. If this was my store, Steve,
Yeah.
I would sell them for about double what you do.
Okay. We'll do that today.
Like friends of the show, like I knew you're coming by here already,
Yeah.
but also come buy some hats and merch so we can fix Steve's window.
Second time in months.
Randy, they were good.
Sure.
Good, buddy.
Okay.
I fixed these windows out.
All right. I'm on it.
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe where it's gonna be people. Number one, fix your window. Number two, finance my run for police.
Are you announcing?
Yeah, I don't think you actually have to be a police.
So,
Yeah.
Good news.
Yeah.
It's available.
So this way. So your window's broken in the front. This is. Look at this.
this morning
Yeah.
and a couple weeks ago.
Oh. Hold on.
Yeah. Steve's window's getting broken. My bumper's getting broken by a chair in a car wash.
Yeah, I don't know.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
I recently broke the toilet here at the Duke store.
Oh, I mean, that was no accident. That was premeditated.
That was- yeah,
That was first degree.
I'm not sure which was worse.
Where's Jalen?
Jalen Brown.
Are you accusing Jalen Brown of breaking Steve's window?
No, but everyone told me he was being traded.
Celtic.
Every single expert in the history of all sports told me he was being traded for sure.
It was just me. I'm the one. I'm the expert.
Was it on Reddit?
Where's that cat, Derek White?
Read it.
That is the one that I did. How come all the things that everyone said was going to happen didn't happen, and then for some reason New Orleans traded their unprotected first round draft pick next year?
For nothing. Which will be a better pick next year than it was this year.
Yeah,
That was wild to me.
that was wild.
I didn't see that.
No, but there was really nothing to see. You see Joe Dumars doing dumb stuff.
Joe dumbass.
Who do you trade?
It's low hanging fruit because it's ripe and delicious. That's why it's low hanging. Read it.
The Pelicans moved their next year's unprotected first round draft pick, which is going to be a lot. For a sacrifice.
Kevin Durant.
All right, if Joe Dumars wants a guy, he goes and gets that guy. That's what they say about Joe Dumars. He's a go-getter. Not next year. He doesn't have the option to be.
How many rookies did the Nets draft? It's the most unexciting draft this year. Did you watch? Yeah. With Ray.
Except for that Chinese guy who got drafted and he came in through the crowd. Besides that,
John from
yeah,
law.
they were so sure he wasn't getting drafted that day. They gave him a seat in the stands with the fans. A 7-foot tall Chinese guy and a bunch of dudes that look like Steve. They're just hanging out in the crowd.
Is it called a bow? Bow?
So kind.
Was he the one that was crying?
Well, everyone.
They almost all cry.
Cooper Flag?
No, well, that's it. But like everyone brought, I tell you what I did appreciate because everyone brought like their ham instead of their like agents and side pizzas.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna hang out with him later though.
Charles Lawrence traded Mark Williams to the Suns for first round draft pick. First round draft pick. That's
Mark Williams.
There's a lot of human.
That's what you have to have.
In the West, you have to have, like you said, a big, long center that can play defense, a point guard who can be a court general, shooting guard who can make a bunch of threes, power forward who'll get you 20 points and about 10 boards, and then and Bronny James.
Dream team.
Because everyone in the West is good.
Know that there was a West team finals this year.
Central time zone team who just so happens to play in the West.
First of all, the Pacers.
You were. Why is that?
Why not?
Because Oklahoma City was way better. Be like an underdog guy all the time.
That's why I hope for Dallas Cowboys.
They don't win.
New York Yankees.
And Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics.
Yeah. Classic front runner.
Now you, Steve, I'm sure are very aware of George Pickens.
I don't know. Did I know the name?
So he plays wide receiver.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Like enough time to prepare for a youth football team that he just stick out on.
Some might say, and some being me, he hates children. The children of the world, not just Pittsburgh.
The Dallas,
Didn't he hook up with Micah Parsons?
like this,
Okay.
the one here.
Yeah.
Who?
I heard you heard about this story.
George Pickens.
Micah Parsons.
Well, he was at the one. He
He
may
was
have
actually here.
Yeah.
In person.
Really?
Yeah, he may have zoomed that other one.
Yeah. He zoomed around the field doing some drills.
Assumed he just put his name to it.
See, that's what I thought as well.
Zoom.
Hmm, you presumed.
Zoom.
You can make the Zoom. He was here.
That's cool.
Ran around.
Nice.
But
Put your name on something, you should show up. That's how
after George Pickens,
I heard that all he wants to do is zoom, zoom, and a boom, boom, and shake his rump.
only Cooper Flag is worth looking at. Not even Ron Harper's kid said he was better than Ron Harper.
Ron Harper Jr.
Dylan Harper.
changed his own name.
He's a hooper.
I'm assuming.
Cooper Flag was in person, though, right? he showed up.
With the Hooper flag.
Yeah, he was actually.
They set him in the middle, which comes a smart move. But in hindsight, if they sent him in the very back row, that walk would have been like through it. And then like, you know, I just want to have.
Well, no files. Because he's
Look,
high stuff.
those are just
Coming down.
below
Five.
About waist high,
Not, I mean,
except for the other players
yeah, he's only 6'9".
and their families, because they don't just magically get tall. If you do, it's probably a glandular problem.
So many people today are going,
What happened at the Duke's? You are correct. They're saying.
Steve, there was no attempted robbery. Steve just got upset and
There was a robbery.
frisbeed a hat through the window. I do want to see the video. I might know the guy. I'm ready to ID him for you.
There's strong video evidence that he was actually at another establishment earlier in the evening.
Dang.
Broke the window, took a bag.
Serial.
would it be easy if we go around town with people and go around the street?
I'm sure they've been turned over somewhere sold.
With the tens of thousands of Duke's hats that I see around town,
There's a lot.
everyone's a suspect, including you, Steve. Oh, wait, no, you're wearing a Yankees hat. Never mind. You're in the clear.
You sponsored our golf team the other day for the 2 weeks ago.
Best looking team out there.
We all wore these polos.
Yeah.
Except you wear your
Mm-hmm.
They grabbed the wrong one.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. These are atop the standards currently.
Well, yes, that's
Mhm.
exactly what we do. We struck out 6 times in a row against a guy who's never hit.
I think we're talking about that game.
We are.
We have 3 hours, Steve.
We have a lot of hours. The top players in the NBA draft are all Rutgers players. Rutgers didn't take them.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, how can the best players in the draft not even be on a team good enough to beat other college teams?
Cooper Flack did not play for Rutgers.
He's the only player worth ever caring about.
He's one of those guys you feel like you have to say his whole name. You can't just say Cooper. You have to say Cooper Flag.
If you say just Cooper, that's someone else.
I'm going to start saying hanging with Mr. Cooper Flag from now on. It's a little wordy, but I like it. Koopa Loop.
I feel like Cooper is
Fruit Coops.
Fly the Cooper Flag.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one. Fly the Cooper Flag.
it was a job title, right?
What?
Cooper?
A Cooper?
Yeah.
It's a guy who makes barrels.
Yeah, like repairs barrels.
Yeah.
Like
DB.
DB Cooper, the guy who jumped out of the airplane. Is that where
Gents, I'm back at the board if you want to do a break. If
we're
you
going to
want
step away for about a
roll
minute
that barrel into a commercial.
to come back, and whenever we do get back, more from the Duke store, rehashing the NBA draft even further. Tons of sports stuff going on, so we'll get into all of that. Steve, you doing all right, brother?
I'm hanging in there. I'm glad you're here.
Like Mr. Cooper Flag. I like
to
that.
raise my spirits.
It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by
Welcome back to Two Men On. We're live at the Duke store. NBA draft was last night. Had a lot of fun watching it. It's kind of evolved from when we were kids. It's different. It's now not necessarily about how the team gets better. It's not necessarily about the anticipation of the pick. It's about, wow, what weird thing ESPN can tell us about the player immediately after they're picked. It's like a dating profile.
I do kind of appreciate that. I like to learn cool facts about the athlete in question. Humanizes them a little bit.
It's all a work, though.
Well, for sure it is.
That Trey Johnson's like, all I do is basketball. I have no hobbies or interest. He.
It's a guy you want on your team, right?
Yeah.
Just pure focus.
Joining us from the studio is Kaylina. Kaylina, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Kaylina will be with us on the live stream soon. You can catch our video at talkabq.com. You can go to our Facebook, our YouTube, our Instagram, and there you will be hanging out with us as you finish your workday. The Brooklyn Nets became the first team, Steve, to ever use 5 picks in the first round of a single draft. Pick number 8. I want to make sure I got these names right for you. Igor Demon went to BYU. Pick 19, Nolan Traore from France. Pick 22, which I think is the best one of the first round, Drake Powell from North Carolina. 26, Ben Sarah from Israel. That's the country, Steve, currently at war. Pick 27, Danny Wolf from Michigan.
Now, hold on.
And they did in their own arena.
What I understand, there was a ceasefire.
Yeah.
I thought it was over.
I read about it on Twitter.
True Social. You read it on True Social.
It is wild. They didn't move out of the spots whatsoever. They're just perfectly content staying right in place and getting basically like
an entire starting lineup
from all around the world.
Yeah. You're playing point guard, shooting guard, a little bit of a swing guard kind of thing, and 2 dudes who can kind of go power forward. I mean, it's not the biggest lineup in the history, but you're in the East. Should be fine. I say start them all. Start them all in first game of the year.
From the jump.
Yep. Fab 5.
You got to add a couple more in the second round too, right? Get 5 picks for your bench in the second round.
I mean, none of these dudes feel like they have all-star potential. Like I'm not looking at them going, but one of them's got to be good, right? Like one of these of the 5 has to be good.
The Israeli cat, he's only 18. He's got some Doncic vibes. Not like an automatic superstar like Luka, but playing professional basketball for 2 years before you're 18. That's pretty sweet. At the end of the first round, like, why not? Go for it, baby.
If you're looking at kind of the pre-draft rankings, it looks like they got caliber-wise 14th best, 19th best, 22nd best, 30th best, 32nd best players. So
that's not too bad.
Not in the league, just in the draft.
From talking head wannabe experts. There's Cooper Flagg, kind of Dylan Harper, and then 28 other guys.
I think that's accurate.
It's just a crapshoot. After the sure things at the top of the draft, it's a crapshoot. How do you know how an 18-year-old kid's going to turn out playing with 7-foot-tall grown-ass men? You have no idea. Don't act like you do.
You do have your Cooper Flagg, though.
Cooper Flagg, you know. Dylan Harper, you know.
Steve, I got some news about your Lakers. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Austin Reeves formally declined a max extension.
That's interesting.
You going to survive this? 89.2 over 4. That's so much money.
So much money.
How do you not take
He's
that?
good.
Because he's about to be traded to some team.
Uh-huh.
And then he's going to test free agency.
Trade him to Dallas.
He thinks he's going to make more than that.
He thinks he's going to make more than that.
Probably will.
Probably will.
What about LeBron? Is the new ownership keeping him? I heard otherwise.
Who'd you hear that from, Steve?
Same guy that
was
tweeted.
it Steve?
Was it the same guy who tweeted that Israel was in a ceasefire? Is that where you heard it from?
I don't know. I
Doing
mean,
quite a bit of bombing for being in a ceasefire.
they could clean house. That's what generally they do. Those
Are
new
you
owners,
talking about the Lakers
the
now?
new owners.
I just didn't know if you're going political climate or Lakers.
No, Lakers.
So you're telling me every time they sell, they clean house.
Yeah.
So in the history of their organization,
Yeah.
now only.
Why not?
If I was the
Got a little
Lakers,
stale.
if I was the Lakers' new owner, my first order of business is however much Bronny James makes, you cut that right off the top of his dad's contract.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't want your kid here. You want your kid here.
Mm-hmm.
If you want him to stay around and you get to hang out in the locker room and go on the airplane with you, sit next to you, play cards on the way home from Memphis or whatever.
Same as champ.
This is coming out of your pocket, dude.
Yeah. Is Jeannie Buss still running the show?
Correct.
That is also correct.
I mean, some say that it's really Jay Moore behind the scenes pulling the strings, but when I mean some people, I mean
yeah,
Van Nunley just said that.
they need more Jay Moore, Bronny
Mm-hmm.
out there.
Yep.
Also, if you're going to clean house with the Lakers, Bronny's not the issue. He's a future star
That's what I heard.
to the 100 percentile.
The Lakers didn't even draft in this first round, did they?
It's not always about the Lakers, Steve. Man, I know you're obsessed with them.
They did the Celtics.
It's the most, and I'm not
Oh,
trying to
there,
downplay
28.
it, but if you didn't watch it last night, you're fine.
The Celtics drafted some dude from the soccer team, Real Madrid. Hugo Gonzalez. I think he's a forward or a defensive back. Goalie?
Sweeper.
Perhaps?
He's a sweeper.
Hey, got some good feet on him.
Does he wear,
Real Madrid?
does he wear number 10?
I mean, seriously.
All of the big time soccer teams in Europe also have basketball teams.
Name the same team.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, everything.
Just in case they want to cross over.
I heard he's got a good crossover too, by the way.
He's
So
a good corner
congratulations.
He's good from the corner.
I wonder how many shots he's going to block with his forehead next year.
When we get back from the break, we got an update on a weird story. It's a Wander Franco update. 2 men on live from the Duke store, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Welcome back to Two Men On, live from the Duke store. This is what they call the dog days of summer. A lot of fun in the sports world, though, because you get to react to the best thing on earth, which is baseball. Then you get to talk crazy about everything else. It's a lot of fun.
My two favorite things.
Yeah.
Baseball
And hyperbole.
and gross speculation.
Yeah. Got a update here on a thing.
Okay.
Tampa Bay Rays shortstop Wander Franco, you're familiar with him.
Maybe X
Good point.
shortstop.
Found guilty of sexual abuse of a minor in the Dominican Republic for an illegal sexual relationship with a 14-year-old girl when he was 21.
Gross.
Today received a 2-year prison sentence,
Oh, come on, man.
according
It's not enough.
to reports from ESPN.
That is not enough.
He will not spend a single day in prison.
No?
That one hurts my tum-tum.
No, they'll put him in a like a halfway thing, or they'll put
Put
him
an
in his house.
Ankle bracelet on him.
Mhm.
Yep. Pay off everyone.
It's a suspended sentence, so he doesn't even go to prison.
It's awful. And the mother? Any updates on the mother,
No reporting as of yet.
who was not a lot of other words for it? The child's pimp?
Yeah. Light to say the least. So there's the update on Wander Franco. He is terrible and deserves harm.
It's not enough.
I think that's accurate. It's just not enough.
It's comes at no surprise. There's a rich history, not just in the United States, but in the world, of having fame and money can get you out of a lot of problems.
Yeah. And not just today. I mean, historically, this has been true.
Kind of forever in the history of the world. Yeah.
There was a weird on-field one yesterday where Jazz Chisholm got kicked out of the game between innings. Did you see this?
I did not.
So the Yankees believe, because their former catcher, Jose Trevino,
Mhm.
he kept egging on the umpire between innings about Jazz Chisholm, and that's why he threw him out of the game. So the
That makes sense.
Yankees are alleging that they have beef, and that he convinced the umpire to throw out Jazz Chisholm.
What do you mean? Like, kept telling the umpire, like, elementary school stuff? Like, oh, you won't believe what Jazz Chisholm said about you?
That is correct.
He said you're a big dorky dork face.
Well, with automated ball strikes, there's no reason to teach framing pitches anymore. So you just
Mhm.
try to frame the other team.
There you
Smart.
go.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Jazz Chisholm between innings is going, what?
What did I say?
What happened?
I never
Just
said
happened.
that.
He famously said in an interview recently, he goes, yeah, I kind of play the game at like 70%. They're like, you don't go 100%? He goes, no. He goes, that's when you get hurt.
It's a long series. It's a long season.
Hey, in his defense, there's a lot of Achilles tears in the NBA. People trying too hard.
Well, he's not an NBA player.
And he's not number 0.
I don't know if that's accurate. I have no idea what
Jazz.
number Jazz Chisholm wears.
He's not 0.
There is a % chance that he is 0.
I would say if anybody on the Yankees is going to be 0, it's Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah. What was that guy that wore 11 forever and played the outfield but was never any good?
I mean, if he's going
Brett
to be
Gardner.
if he's going to be true to his name, then he should probably be a different number every game or a different number
Because of Jazz.
every few innings. Just whatever you feel like in the moment, you know.
He just
Kind of
improvs.
freestyle it.
Just
Just
improv.
improv a number. Could be a letter one day. Who knows?
I don't hate that. But yeah, he got kicked out because his ex-teammate was...
He's 13.
Oh,
Ouch,
no,
right.
he's got to be at least 27.
He's 13.
Does Wander Franco know? I don't feel like anyone in the Yankees needs help getting ejected. I feel like Aaron Boone super loves that stuff. But this was nice. Nice little change of pace. Also, big old tattle. NFL talk whenever we get back from the break. It's 2 Men On. Live from the Duke Store. 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, Sports Animal. I'll give them away.
What's that?
Family 4-pack. Go see the Isotopes versus El Paso, July the 2nd. It's a noon game.
Now hold on. Is that the special ESPN game? Is that the lowrider game?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Now, if I was going to have a ESPN national game, I believe instead of being the Lowriders, I would be the Dukes.
Yep.
That's my thought.
They're having lowriders out there for that game.
Yes. They're having like 160 lowriders.
Wow.
How do you know that number?
I went to the press conference.
I saw they're doing special food too.
What kind of food is it?
I assume Southwest.
It's the
Look
same
it up.
food, but they serve it to you off the floor.
Family 4-pack.
Lowriders.
Gotcha.
Served low.
Mm-hmm.
You want 4 of them? You can get them from us. It is the noon game on July the 2nd. And all you have to do is be caller number 9, 505-246-0610. Call Kaylina and she will set you up. Caller number 9 for 4 to the Albuquerque Isotopes first. El Paso
Chinchillas.
Going to catch a loss. That's what I was trying to say. There you go. I like giving away tickets to things.
That's going to be a fun day.
Show up wear your Duke's cap and tag us. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
You can also go to sportsanimalabq.com right now, Steve. I don't know if you know this.
Let me get that on my phone real quick. What's the address?
Sportsanimal.
Yep.
ABQ.com.
Got it.
Mm.
Ton of cool stuff going on, including trips on a tank full. Are you familiar with this bad boy?
No.
So it's the coolest. So if you want to go through the longest, narrowest gouge in the entire country,
Gouge.
am I saying that correct?
Gorge.
Gouge or gorge?
Gorge.
Steve.
Oh, that makes more sense
Oh,
when
it's
you
gorge?
say it. Yeah, when you say it. Yeah.
See, we didn't know that, Steve.
Gouge.
I thought it was like a gouge. I'm not a train guy.
Are you talking? Oh, gauge. Gauge. Train gauge.
Like tracks.
Mm-mm.
No,
Mm-mm.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
American train tracks have different gauges
Correct.
than European train tracks.
And a gorge is not a gouge.
I thought it was like in the side of the mountain. It was like gouged in.
It's gouged into the earth. Like you're on to something here.
Where
Maybe
you
the first guy who said it like mispronounced it.
Right. Perhaps.
How would you spell
You're talking about
gauge
the Taos
and gouge? Here's what I'm talking about. 4 coach class tickets aboard America's longest and highest narrow gouge railroad. That's what I'm talking about. It's called the Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad.
So only coaches can win this?
Who are the coaches?
I mean, you said coach tickets.
I think that has to do with how much luggage you can bring.
Okay.
I think. Also, everything I know about trains is all from
very little.
it's
Apparently.
cowboy movies, yeah.
Mm.
And Rick Steves.
Mostly robbing them.
You okay with that? You like that one?
That's a deep cut, dude. I like that one a lot.
Is it Steve's?
Yes.
Rick Steves.
Rick Steves.
Okay.
I only had PBS growing up.
I thought
Okay.
his name was Steves.
Gouge.
Steve's.
Gorge.
Gauge.
You think it's gorge?
I think that we're talking about two different things.
Here's what I'm talking about. Longest and highest narrow gouge or gorge. I think they both work now that Steve has said it out loud.
Correct.
But you
I mean,
can
it's-
win that.
A gorge is
Can you
just
win a gorge?
the earth has been gouged by wind and precipitation.
Water
over
wins.
hundreds and thousands of years.
Water wins every time. Also,
Also gravity. Water and gravity form like Voltron to make a gorge.
yeah, Steve. Did you enter to win?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, thank you. Van and I cannot win, but you can. Also, caller number 9, Isotopes tickets from us to you. Go see that. I wanted to do as much filler as I could before I gave you this update because I don't want to spend really any time talking about it. The NFL suspended Ravens kicker Justin Tucker 10 games.
So Justin Tucker got worse punishment than Wander Franco? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, he got 2 years, kind of, which was nothing.
No, he didn't.
Now, he's currently a free agent, suspended without pay for the first 10 weeks of the 2025 regular season. Well, no one's going to sign him.
No one's going to sign him.
He's not so good.
If you're going to blacklist somebody in the NFL, make it be that guy. Please,
Well,
please.
If you're going by punishments, he's like 1 game less bad of a human being than Deshaun Watson. What did Watson have? 24, 27 allegations? Tucker had 16.
I'm glad you didn't put the word only in front of that. I appreciate you for not doing that.
No,
That is so many.
it's so many.
That is so many more than one. And one
one
in the context of those kind of allegations
still
is so many more
it's
than zero.
gigantic.
0 is the best number for those type of allegations.
505-246-0610, caller number 9, giving away a family 4.
And Kaylina's been rocking that phone.
Yeah, she's
There's
been
a
busy.
bunch of callers.
A lot of people trying to get their kids out of the house that day.
Is that to the game or on the gate in the gauge train?
That's you have to go through the gate entrance of the ice storm.
SportsAnimalABQ.com for the train gauging. 505-246-0610. The baseball tickets.
Also,
2 different things.
all I know, Steve,
Yes.
about trains is all that little diorama from Beetlejuice. That's where my knowledge really ends. And that scene in Stand By Me.
Mm-hmm.
And that scene in Back to the Future 3.
Remember Joe Pesci tried to throw his mama off one.
Off a train.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need shined up.
What
on
gauge train was it?
American Standard.
3 feet?
That. So I don't know the exact dimensions of train gauges.
Especially when they go through the gorge.
Well, that could modify it, I guess.
Yeah.
Gorge.
2 men on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Did you vote?
Vote for what, Steve?
The All-Star game. Baseball.
I did not. The only time I've ever voted for that stuff is like in Busch Stadium when they hand out the paper ballots. Like they pass them down the deal with the little golf pencil.
Who'd you vote for?
Always every St. Louis Cardinals player.
You don't have a name?
Back then, those
Yeah.
years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty.
Jim Edmonds,
Yeah.
Scott Rowland.
John Mabry.
Oh, John Mabry.
Yeah. I always say, what would John Mabry do if he were here today?
What would he do?
I'm sure he'd hit a home run or two. That's
Yeah.
what John Mabry would do. That's what I always say. We're live at the Duke store. Come down, buy a hat.
Yeah.
Go stand in the sun.
Guy just bought a new hat.
What'd he get?
He got the newest hat that we have.
Which one is it?
Sky blue Zia A on the front.
That is
Ooh.
sweet.
With the 100-year anniversary patch on the side.
Now, when is the 100-year anniversary?
Huh?
When's the 100-year
It
anniversary?
was in 2015,
So some time ago.
10 years ago. It's 110 years now, but we don't have a side patch for that. But the 100
Nobody wants a 110-year patch.
100-year patch was cool.
When's the next
I
patch?
haven't had one of those in a while.
125? You doing it at 125?
Sure.
I say do 111 because 111 is sweet.
That is pretty cool.
And then don't do another one until the 505-year anniversary.
Sounds good.
Be sick. Kaylina, do we still have Isotopes tickets or are they gone?
Just gave them away.
Oh,
Okay.
congratulations.
Do you want to do that with enthusiasm this time or is
I
that?
just gave them away to the lucky winner,
Oh.
Lorenzo.
Oh, let's
All
go.
right. Low dog.
Friend of the show, Low. On
Good to
Low
see
Rider
the
Day?
Low Rider night day.
Dang.
It's meant to be.
Yeah. Way better than giving a somebody named Stuart or Patrick.
Congrats on the
What
low,
do you
low,
mean?
low, low.
Just traditionally, I don't believe those are names that are,
Doesn't rhyme with low rider.
yeah, it's just a little tougher. We mentioned at the start of the show because you sat down and you're a zealot Cowboys fan. So I think we wrapped up the show with it yesterday too, but Pat Fryermuth had to go do a youth camp in Pittsburgh because your favorite player, George Pickens, bailed on these kids. Steve, would you like to defend your?
He doesn't live in Pittsburgh anymore.
Okay, so just say forget those kids. Is that what you're saying?
It's not part of his contract.
What contract,
He
Steve?
could be in between
Steelers.
checks. He couldn't afford a flight out there.
Is he so broke, Steve, that
He didn't want to miss arm day at the Cowboys locker room, weight room.
Armchair day, more like.
so can we at least praise Pat Fryermuth?
Who's he play for?
Well, he plays for Pittsburgh.
Oh,
and
well, that makes sense.
he he's the one who stepped up. He's the one who cares about these kids. Unlike your favorite player, George Pickens, who refuses to
Why are you picking on George?
because he skipped this thing with all these kids.
Maybe he was released from that obligation when he signed with the Cowboys.
The obligation of helping kids.
The obligation of attending a camp that was tied to his employment with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We don't know if
We
that's
don't
true.
know that.
No,
But
what
you're
we-
assuming that.
What we do know is that Fryermuth is a way better role model, anyways.
Do you know that?
Yes, he was the one with the camp.
Yeah, he showed up.
He's not the step receiver. He's the receiver who stepped up.
Was it the George Pickens camp? Or was it a Pittsburgh Steelers camp?
I do not know
What
the
was the name
official
of the
name of the camp. Would you like me to look that up?
Yeah.
Because I just want to make sure I understand completely
As do I.
that you feel that the reason it's okay that George Pickens doesn't care about kids is if the Pittsburgh Steelers name is on the camp. Is that accurate?
If his name was not on the camp roster and he was going because he was employed by the Pittsburgh Steelers, but if
Who is George Pickens' camp?
It was a George Pickens
Yes,
game.
that is correct.
Did you see the flyer? Is that online?
Nope.
Is it a PDF you can download?
Is there a click-through link where you can register
Correct.
today?
Yes. Well, he dropped the ball.
Okay, that's where you're going this whole time.
Not me. George. If his name was on there, he should have been there.
If I'm DK Metcalf, which I'm not, who? DK Metcalf. I am not about to ever drink anything given to me by that football team. Eat anything supplied to me by that football team.
Mm-mm.
At all. I'm not going to take a t-shirt home from the facility. I'm not going to allow the Pittsburgh Steelers to poison my mind as wide receiver the way that they have every single other human being that's ever played there, except for Pat Fryer.
Did he get traded to the Steelers?
That is accurate, yeah.
I must have missed that.
And then started putting bomb threats in at orphanages.
What?
Well, that part's probably not true.
That part is not true.
Now, he is known to have a hot head on the field. But he seems pretty cool, like off the field. Also, they mostly just draft wide receivers with character concerns. I guess they don't necessarily bring them in.
What about quarterbacks?
Roethlisberger sucked. I mean, he was like the worst person on earth. And then,
Le'Veon Bell was garbage.
yeah, he was garbage. He's a
We
quarterback.
all know about Antonio Brown, who apparently is on the lam from attempted murder charges, and he's just gallivanting around the world.
Steelers have lost their way.
Well, Mike Tomlin sucks.
He's lost his way, apparently.
He never had it.
Is he in control of the team?
Apparently not. And definitely not players that aren't there anymore, like George Pickens.
Right.
But that, I don't know how, because there was like a season where it was Brown, George, Bryant, Johnson. And he had to like control all these weird dudes. Like his brain must be a mush.
Yeah.
Like you don't just bounce back from that. Wasn't Juju there for a minute? James Washington?
Yeah.
He's
And-
probably going to retire at the same time Aaron Rodgers does. The end of this season.
Who was that?
Tomlin.
You're right off in the sunset,
Together.
high on ayahuasca.
Isn't that opening game against Green Bay? Is it the first game?
I do not believe so.
That's when they both retire after they beat, just for no reason, just after they beat Green Bay.
How many games? What's the over or under on the games
It was,
that Aaron Rodgers is actually going to participate in?
well, you would assume it's high.
I would say all of them.
Yeah, you'd assume you want it to be healthy. If you're a Pittsburgh fan, you take the over. 'Cause I don't think you yank him, but didn't he say he was only going to play the 1 year?
He was alluding towards that, but
Yeah.
when can we believe anything that Aaron Rodgers says? Aaron Rodgers gets to play both the Packers and the Jets this season.
I mean, that's sweet, right?
That is very sweet.
Are they both on the road? Because that would make it that much better.
Packers are in Pittsburgh.
All right, that's fine.
Steelers are in New Jersey.
Now, he's played the Jets before, so I don't super care about that. But has he played Green Bay before?
He's played for the Green Bay Packers for many years.
Yeah, but never
Yeah.
against them.
I mean, in practice. Played against him a lot in practice.
Yeah, but red jersey stuff don't count.
Like red hat stuff.
No, that stuff super counts. It's changing the world. But like, yeah, there has to be somebody still on that team that was on that team when he was on that team. And a conversation to be had about what needs to be done to, I'm not going to use the word harm, but, play as hard as humanly possible against him. It'd be good for that fan base too. Because the Green Bay fan base, I feel, has already moved on from Aaron Rodgers. I feel he's not part of their conversation or consideration ever. But
if me being a Packers fan is any indication, it was immediately good riddance.
Kind of seems like that.
Yeah, I think the majority of Packers, no one longs to have Aaron Rodgers back.
Or conversations about him.
Correct.
But he's obsessed with them. Like, he super cares, is my opinion.
Well, he cares about his image. He cares about the world's perception of Aaron Rodgers.
So, but
And
what does that?
does nothing to alter it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it has anything to do with him either or either not being victorious over the Packers. But I think he thinks it does.
Oh, he will be trounced by the Packers.
Yeah. You see what Ohio did today with the Browns?
I did not.
So their legislator cleared a path for them to leave Cleveland.
Mm.
And there are some laws against that, literally the Art Modell law, that kind of keep that from happening in Ohio. But that's how little they want to have the Browns in that city.
I mean, they probably are trying to keep the massage therapists of Cleveland safe and shipping out Deshaun Watson. Like, have him leave.
Well, he's going to end up not playing ever again. I don't know where he's going to end up. But it's being reported that like Ohio pro sports teams who play in tax supported facilities within Ohio, once that lease expires, they can leave. So it's not like it'll be an immediate thing. But now there is a way out, which I guess tracks. So their new dome stadium scheduled to open in 2029, $600 million project. That's crazy. From the state. I mean, it'll be a greater project than that, but
I mean, making the Cleveland Browns relevant is going to be a lot tougher than building a billion-dollar stadium.
no, also they can, this movement I'm talking about is not just like you can't move out of the state, you have to stay in the state. So you can leave Cleveland. So it's like almost like a white flight kind of thing.
Okay.
Where it's like if you want to go to the suburbs,
You can go to the
can
suburbs.
go to the
it's fine.
suburbs.
Yeah. You can't leave.
Yeah.
Can't leave.
You don't have you can't go to Illinois.
You can go to Cincinnati.
Go to Cincinnati. Go to Columbus, which is where they want everything now in Ohio.
Having two teams in Cincinnati before there's two teams in New York would be wild.
Yeah.
There's one team in New York.
Why
Yeah,
would they?
the Buffalo Bills.
Did it say
Buffalo.
why he wanted him to leave?
Well, it's legislators, so it's not just one guy. But the idea is, yeah, they stay in the metropolis that is Cleveland, which I think a lot of people would say does not rock, contrary to popular belief. And then they would go to whatever suburbia that they so choose. You know, and it's not like here out west where Albuquerque is a huge city that encompasses all. Like Cleveland is surrounded by little munis. And this would allow a team to go to wherever.
So they believe it's helping them, helping the team.
I believe they believe it's helping the team.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know what I don't know. But I think, and this is just opinion, fans from Cleveland would travel a short amount of distance out of Cleveland to go to a thing. And fans outside of Cleveland don't want to go into Cleveland.
Gotcha.
Having grown up in a gigantic city.
That's similar when I lived in D.C., the old Redskins stadium. What was it called? The I don't know, the original stadium was
Jack Murphy.
right there in kind of in town.
How did you get that?
Just the depths.
And then the new stadium was built outside the metropolis.
Yeah.
DC.
In like Alexandria or something.
Yeah. FedEx Field or whatever it was called at the time.
NASCAR.
I think they're wrongly equating lowered attendance in the city of Cleveland with people are scared to go to the big city out of fear of, violence or, getting their windows broken. I think it's more of a fact they have an awful product and a rich history of making awful decisions and embarrassing themselves as a franchise. Why people don't want to go see.
You're not wrong. More of the program when we get back. It's 2 Men On. 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, Sports Animal. Welcome back to Two Men On. We're live at the Duke store. You can come down to the Albuquerque Duke store right now. 10% off the thing you want from here. Did I get that right, Steve?
Yes, that was great. Thank you.
Now, during the break, we saw you were talking to the guy who replaces the window glass at the front of your store.
No, That wasn't him.
Okay, he looked the part.
That was Howie from, not Howie, Wally
Wally.
from Geckos.
Arthur Blank testified today in anti-collusion grievance. He, of course, owns the Atlanta Falcons. There's a lot of this anti-collusion stuff recently. These owners are getting a little too flippant. There was recently a thing. This has to do with the Lamar Jackson quarterback stuff and talking about why they wouldn't sign him and talking about injuries and this, that, the other thing. And then Baltimore was able to get him at a more affordable rate, blah, blah, blah. So this just happened with Kyler Murray too, where Kyler Murray couldn't get guaranteed money up front after the terrible Deshaun Watson contract. And if you're going to collude, you have to do it in secret.
Yeah, that helps collusion quite a bit when the people colluding are the only ones to know about it.
Yeah.
Because when the truth comes out and everyone finds out you're colluding, instead of being a colluder, no one knowing, now you're just an AH.
A helper.
No.
Oh. So, investigators found that the NFL advised teams to avoid guaranteeing salaries, but that the communication and response did not rise to the level of collusion. So, interesting there. Collusion requires actual agreements, not general griping between the various factions. So, there you go.
After Deshaun Watson's awful contract, again,
Deshaun.
more terrible Browns decision making. After that one, I could understand owners and front offices not wanting to do a contract like that because of how awful it was.
Yes.
Without collusion. It was just a really horrible example of what a contract should look like. You don't need to collude. You can just copy it and send it in an email.
Yeah.
Like, don't do this, guys. This was really dumb. We don't need secret meetings to figure out how stupid that was.
They have these very public meetings, and those are all what we call in the industry a work.
Correct. Nothing gets done.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And then you have secret meetings,
Mm,
and those are done in speakeasies.
correct.
Those are done in.
Is that where the collusion takes
That is
place?
accurate. Yeah.
Right. And for future reference, for people colluding, you shouldn't take minutes. Don't write stuff down. You're doing illegal activity.
Yeah.
Should not be traceable.
Now,
There should not be a provable record of your crimes.
now the three of us are in a collusion.
Go on.
So it's more of a good faith coalition of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I refer to us as. But it's basically collusion to not bring in any new friends.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into that.
Steve?
Well, in conclusion, I would say the collusion that you speak of
Mm-hmm.
is fair.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't do it around you guys
You can never say thank you enough. Did you know that, Van?
or for the first time.
Or
Yeah.
if ever. Yep.
I'm gonna kick it really real with you guys right now.
Okay.
I refer to us as the commission when you're not around, so
This is the real.
that's pretty cool.
He's kicking it real.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
It's a Justin Tucker thing.
Is it?
Ooh. Ew. Who colluded against that guy?
Yeah.
His name's Justin Tucker. That's the guy who colluded
The
against
gals.
Justin Tucker.
Now, Kyler Murray, who you guys are familiar with because he's very bad, he did not get all of his money up front, but he,
Couldn't reach it.
well, okay, that is part of it, Steve. Nice. But, okay, you just did a jumping motion to reach something on a top shelf.
The table.
I thought he was trying to give you a high five.
Yeah, you give me the Cooper flag treatment. He's going to leave like $60 million that he just doesn't get because first of all, he's not very good, but
He's good.
is he?
Yeah.
At what?
Football.
Nope.
He's a good fantasy
It's
quarterback.
not bad.
That part's true.
Yeah. I like him on my fantasy team. I would not want him on my real life team.
You don't win no games.
He did at the beginning.
Yeah.
Then Larry Fitzgerald retired,
Yep.
and he didn't want to deal with that guy.
Didn't want to collude.
If you go up to whatever this collusion hearing is and you're like, hey, just trying to have some cap flexibility, trying to, and like, sorry if you guys don't like approach it the same way I do or whatever, but this is what we have deemed the path to success. So collude your way right out of asking me these questions. I think that's way better off than, well, he's got an injury.
Do you think Shad Khan is invited to any of these
No,
meetings?
100%.
There's no way Shad Khan is at these meetings.
They hate Shad Khan.
They hate him. They hate his business.
Yeah.
They hate his business practices. But above everything, they hate his mustache.
And his kid.
And autists.
And now Travis Hunter.
Now they jealous of Travis Hunter.
Super jealous. And what's the name of the quarterback? Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hates him.
This is his year.
I hope so.
This is his breakout year this year.
Yep.
He's coming. All he needed was Travis Hunter.
But if you ask the Falcons, all you need is
Love.
Penix,
Oh,
who is also not good yet, but he will be, I guess.
possibility.
He throws with the wrong hand. Have you guys seen this before?
That is weird.
It's
to me.
very weird. Why does he do that?
Just use the right hand.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Correct.
Moving on. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. store. Come hang out. If you want to hang out, 10% off everything in the building. So come get it.
Yep.
Then Steve asked me earlier if I had voted yet. That's because the All-Star finalists are coming out. Do you boys want National League or American League for baseball?
Alphabetical order, please. So Al.
Okay. First base, Vladimir Guerrero and Paul Goldschmidt
Ooh.
for the AL.
Yeah.
Steve?
Yankees.
There's a Yankee there. That is correct. Gleyber Torres and Jackson Holliday. Second base.
Used to be Yankees.
So I did vote one day.
All right. One
And,
day.
Both of my guys have been named so far. So far, so good.
Aaron Judge.
We haven't got there.
Oh,
This one's a little bit surprising to me.
oh, I see what you mean.
Vladdy Guerrero, Gleyber Torres.
Nice.
Jacob Wilson at short from the A's over Bobby Witt Jr. I don't like it.
Well, the real choice, and they got this one very wrong, it's actually Jeremy Pena of the Astros. Now, I know I'm an Astros fan.
Yes, a lot of people talk about that.
Jeremy Pena's wins above replacement
Is a
significantly higher.
lame stat.
Significantly higher than both Wilson and Bobby Witt Jr. Jacob Wilson is also hitting like 350, so he's doing pretty good too.
Jose Ramirez at third for Cleveland and Alex Bregman of your Albuquerque.
Fun fact,
Yeah.
Jacob Wilson of the Athletics, the first Athletics player to be fan voted into the All-Star game, not pity selected by the coach in 11 years. That's bad.
Who was the last one? Miguel Tejada?
That would be Josh Donaldson.
Yeah, the dude was a stud.
He could go. He could go.
Who's the most famous athletics player of all time?
I mean, the easy answer is Ricky
Jose
Henderson.
Canseco.
Say Ricky Henderson. Infamous, definitely Jose Canseco.
Dallas Braden.
Nice.
Dave Stewart.
Good one.
Also
Duke.
played for the Yankees.
Dave Stewart.
Historically, I mean, that name's pretty common. I feel like it.
Bunch of Dave
Yeah,
Stewart.
bunch of Dave
Every team's got a Dave Stewart.
Best player in the AL is a guy no one's ever heard of, so I'll introduce him to you now. He plays catcher. His name's Cal Raleigh. This kid's unreal.
Most home runs before the All-Star break since Johnny Bench broke Johnny Bench's record.
For a catcher or any position.
Catcher.
Shohei's got, what's he
He's
got?
a-
35 home runs? Is
He's
that what he's got?
Cal Raleig's a few short of Barry Bonds's pre-All-Star break record.
Alejandro Kirk is the backup catcher. DH is Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles and Ben Rice of the Yankees. Who?
Ben Rice has a little late career resurgence, a little post-hype sleeper kind of stuff going on here.
Is he just like a men's league adult softball home run hitting guy?
Pretty much. Lefty, short porching it in Yankee Stadium.
It's got the build of Steve Palmisano, just goes up there and pulls one every time.
You nailed it.
Yep.
You nailed it.
Steve, when's the last time you had a home run?
You mean on a baseball field?
Or in life?
Well, every time you guys are here, I hit a home run.
Yeah, that's awesome. Outfield is a little tight, and I got some bad news for you, Steve.
Why?
Riley Green from the Tigers, Javier Baez from the Tigers, Mike Trout from the Angels. Let's go, Mike. Welcome back. Stephen Kwan of the Cleveland.
Commanders.
Thank you. So that means Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge has 2,699,000 votes.
Aaron Judge is the top vote getter in the AL, so he has secured a spot. Yeah, he is guaranteed a starting spot, being the highest vote getter.
I mean, it's pretty good.
I think of all of them.
Seeing Javier Baez's name as an all-star blows my mind after his fall off he's had since the Cubs.
Abysmal.
He has been an horrible baseball player for like 5 years.
And
Just got a resurgence this year.
and this is the most cliche baseball talk you've ever heard, but like just shorten the swing up.
Put it in play.
Yep.
Good things will happen.
100%.
Yeah, so stupid.
Just gets out of the box fast, goes hard. And they've tried him in a million different positions. He was shortstop for a second. He tried third. He played second. He's in the outfield now. And low-key's like hecka good in the outfield.
He's always had a glove.
It's Dodgers and Friends, boys, for the NL. Freddie Freeman at first, Pete Alonso behind he. Kettle Marte, Tommy Edman behind he at second. Francisco Lindor and Mookie Betts behind he at short. Manny Machado and Matt Muncy, who had a big grand slam last night, at third. Will Smith from the Dodgers and Carson Kelly behind he. I've been telling the world about Carson Kelly for what feels like 6 years.
Sure.
And in year 8 of me telling people he's here.
Right when you give up on him. Welcome to the All-Star game.
So the Dodgers have a player at every single position. And then outfield is Pete Crow Armstrong, who really biffed one the other night against the Cardinals, not knowing the number of outs. Hernandez from the Dodgers, Acuna Jr. from the Braves, Tucker from the Cubs, Andy Pages from the Dodgers, and Juan Soto of the Mets. The leading vote getter, of course, Shohei Ohtani, who I assume will pitch to start it.
I think the fans got it right at every single position except for shortstop in both leagues. Ellie De La Cruz got robbed.
Yeah, that dude's a stud.
An absolute stud.
So Rafael Devers
Mm-hmm.
obviously is getting votes from not this year. Is he having a good year?
He's having an incredible year.
Very
Is he?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His start of the year was embarrassing.
Yeah, that's all I caught.
Figured it out real quick, got his value up, got shipped from Boston
Yeah.
to the Giants. And then when the Red Sox faced the Giants for the first time, he went 0 for 5 in that one. Sucked.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone got robbed here.
Jeremy Pena in the AL and Ellie De La Cruz in the NL. Besides that, I think they got it right.
Carroll?
Having slightly a down year. It's outfield's a super crowded spot in both leagues.
Trout as the DH would make sense to me in the AL. But I agree. De La Cruz is having a better season than Mookie Betts. It's not really even that close. Even Lindor.
Yeah.
There's like
He's-
conversation there.
De La Cruz is the best shortstop in the National League.
God, he's like sexy too.
I mean, his style of play, or
Yes.
his looks, or his
Uh-huh.
field,
Yeah.
his build, his
Uh-huh.
swagger, all the stuff. You like all of it?
Isn't Bregman on the shelf?
Yeah,
Yep.
but he's coming back any second. He's right on the cusp.
When's the All-Star game? Tuesday?
That's what I was looking for. It's coming up.
What's the name of the kid down with the Rays? Aranda? Is that his name? Plays first base.
He's having a year.
He's having a year. I mean, there's a bunch of dudes just having a year.
Yeah, it's unfair. Like these young up and comers that casual fan doesn't know their name yet.
Yeah.
They're always
Well,
going to get
that's
snubbed.
the kid in Minnesota, Buxton. If he's on either coast, like fans are voting him in. But he plays in
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Well, I mean, people who play fantasy baseball hate Byron Buxton
Yeah.
because he's been a disappointment every year, except for this year, and he's finally healthy, and he is incredible. So I think there's some spite. Didn't get voted on out of spite.
Where's James Wood?
James Wood is a snub for sure.
He seems like a snub.
He should not only be an all-star, he should be a starter.
Well,
can't win them all. Again, like
that's the thing.
does
they say.
casual baseball fan know who James Wood is?
Oh,
I doubt it.
Gave up his acting career.
Zoom in on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. 2 days removed from Van telling us about going through the car wash.
Uh-huh.
All right, Van, the friend of the show has patiently awaited your update on the car wash saga where, Steve, if you weren't listening,
I was not.
earlier this week on a Monday, Van, similar to Kaylina today, was late because he got stuck in the car wash because the truck in front of him had debris in the back that blew out and lodged itself underneath of his truck.
That is correct. The gentleman, actually a gentlewoman in front of me, had a chair in the bed of her truck, 2 chairs in the bed of her truck, and the washer sucked the chair out and shoved it in between the assembly line and my bumper,
Correct.
causing the bumper to get scratched
Conveyor
and
belt.
cracked
Oh no.
and ripped off of the undercarriage,
Conveyor belt.
whatever you want to call it.
The undercarriage.
Not a car wash expert.
I am.
So I filled out an incident report and emailed corporate, and there's a little piece of me that thought I was going to have to get litigious. I was going to have to call 898 Bell because obviously he is the car wash specialist here in Albuquerque.
Well, exterior only.
I'm just assuming. Like I
thought it
don't-
was the
I
other
don't.
guy.
I'm not sure.
One of them's really good at full
Are you
service.
talking about Saul Goodman?
If
Is that who you thought?
hurt,
Yeah. Ah, if your truck's hurt.
So you called them and you were ready for a hard wash, but they gave you a soft cloth.
Okay, I don't know what that means. Sounds too sexual for me. But
All right.
what happened was,
All right.
as I filed an incident report,
Did you
and
get
then
free car washes for life?
then I emailed corporate.
How many for lives did you get?
We're negotiating.
Okay.
do you-
But our friends, and I will say the name now, Mr. Car Wash, decided to do the right thing, and they're going to fix everything.
are they?
Just going to take it to the shop, going to order the parts. Shop's going to fix it at no charge.
What shop?
An auto body shop.
505
If they do it, if they do a good job, I'll tell you which auto body shop it was.
Now, Steve and I talked off air.
Ah,
Yeah, we were chatting.
Yeah, and we thought
We could have been colluding, but I don't think that was.
No, it's not
actually
what we're doing.
rose to that
I think
level.
that's exactly what you were doing. Without my consent, I believe that's collusion.
now I thought at best you were going to get a buff and polish out of this. Like at best, that's what I thought you were going to get.
Who was going to give it to him? The car wash or the?
Mister.
I would prefer it from a missus, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So the lady that had the 2 chairs in her truck bed.
Yeah.
2 chair. Well, only
now,
in the
hold on.
beginning, Steve.
If you didn't hear me talking about this a couple days ago, there's layers to this onion. So the lady in front of me, not only did she have chairs in the back of her
Yeah.
truck, she had her back window open and a weed plant
Pot marijuana.
in the back seat. And so when I noticed that she had her window open, before I noticed the chairs, so I noticed the chairs and I started laying in to the horn, just laying into the horn and pointing at the employees like, hey, this lady's got her window open and there's chairs in the back, just telling them what's going on. I don't think they knew it at the time, but I was obviously recording this situation because
Did you have a dash cam like any responsible human being?
I have a rear cam, but I do have a cell phone. So I was recording with my cellular telephone the weirdness that was about to ensue. And I couldn't just back out and leave because I was already on the assembly line
Conveyor belt.
moving
the belts.
forward. So they noticed and they shut the car wash down completely and then went and talked to the person. And instead of making them close their window and get the chairs out of the back of the truck, they just let everything go by, business as usual. And then about halfway through the car wash, chair gets ripped out, lodged in between the car wash and my bumper. And then
So would you say it wasn't a full detail?
I don't think I left out a single detail.
Detailed employee.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do you have a copy of the email that you sent?
So the incident report, yeah.
Yeah, we would like to read
Did you
it.
just carry those with you, or did you stop and get one?
Well, no, it
from-
was Mr. Car Wash Corporate's incident report.
How did you get it?
I talked to the manager and he brought out his
Oh, he had
Mr.
the-
Car Wash iPad.
Oh.
But also, in addition, I emailed.
So when you talked to Mr. Car Wash's father, what did you call him?
Sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, similar to the way
Call
that
him Daddy.
like NATO does, that's a good question. Yeah, did you NATO them?
Would you like for me to read the email?
I'd
That
love
is the
to
thing
hear
I
that.
would like to hear about. Yes.
You mean the
To whom
incident
it may
report?
concern,
Okay.
here are the pics from the incident at Mr. Car Wash Monday, June 23rd, around 3:30 p.m.
All
Can
right,
I stop you right
I
there?
was driving through the
there's
wash
timestamps.
and noticed the truck in front of me had chairs in the back
All
and
right.
their rear window open.
Just not
I
good.
honked in attempt to alert staff. Staff intervened, but the truck was still allowed to proceed.
All right.
The chair in the bed of the truck was
Zach,
pulled
will
out
you-
of the washer and was then lodged in between my bumper and the belt that pulls the cars forward. My bumper was
Conveyor
scraped
belt.
and cracked,
Yeah.
as well as dislodged underneath the bumper. An incident report was filed with manager blank. Please advise how to proceed. Thanks, Van. Pretty professional.
Did you get lifetime car washes or not?
I didn't use any expletives, if you noticed.
Did you say pics or pictures?
Pictures, of course.
I'm not trying to overemphasize this question. I just need you to understand if you resolve this without free lifetime car washes, you're doing it poorly.
We're in negotiations.
So you
Also,
said your
I'm-
bumper
I'm-
was cracked?
I'm also in the market for some new chamois cloths.
I currently have a Mr. Car Wash bottle in my car that the interior team left in there the other day.
That's very funny.
Steve, if you need it to clean your new window, you're about to get it yours.
Thank you. I have a question.
You have
that'd
10
be-
seconds.
Did you? So the staff, you alerted the staff,
Correct.
and they said, it's good.
And they stopped the car wash, went and talked to the person, and then just allowed them to go forward with nothing changing whatsoever.
I've been through those car washes before. I'm not sure that that water could like suck out chairs from the back.
No, it was the
It
brush.
wasn't the water. It was the
brush.
rotating, big
Yeah.
rotating
Oh.
brushes pulled it out.
Gotcha.
Just like your ultimate
Are you
fantasy.
trying to puncture holes in my story? Did I tell you that there was video?
2 men on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Hey, Sports Animal.
I see that video.
Flow with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
This song you can get a paper cut to. Something you can lay back, enjoy the last seat. Get in. Hey.
Log on to sportsanimalabq.com. Trips on a tank full. You could register there for a chance to win 4 coach class tickets aboard America's longest, highest, narrowest gorge
Gauge.
railroad during the 2025 season. Of course, that is May through October. It's the Cumbres and Toltec. I got some train facts for you, boys. Are you ready?
Oh,
Can't wait.
more than ever.
The first full-scale working railway steam locomotives was built in 1804 by Richard Trevithick. He's from in the UK. So there you go.
That's all you got?
Thanks for that.
I
My
thought that
life-
was a good one.
My life has changed
How
now.
did the Cumbres and Toltec get one?
Well, I know you're about to ask when the first transcontinental railroad in the U.S. was completed. Of course, that's 1869,
Nice.
connecting the East and the West Coasts, respectively, Steve,
I think we just call them continental railroads now.
instead of transcontinental.
Yeah. At least till this administration's done.
Thanks, Trump. Ask me where the fastest train is, Steve.
The Cumbres Toltec.
No, that's the most narrowest gauge.
Where's the fastest one?
China.
China.
It's the Shanghai Maglev, reaching up to, and I'm not going to do kilometers per hour because I'm not a communist.
Mm.
Reaching up to
How much in freedom feet?
267
That's pretty good.
miles per hour.
Is that a trans train or is that just a continental
Fast train.
It's a fast one. Doesn't go across the continent. Doesn't transverse it across it.
Mm-mm.
Are you talking like bullet trains?
Pretty gay
I
though.
don't. Sounds like it.
I don't know.
What?
Monkey has a butler.
Now, the maglev, am I saying that? Maglev. So
Yeah.
it's magnets on top of the rails.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even
So
have,
it floats.
it floats.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
To me, it's kind of crazy because how do magnets even work?
We'll never
How does it
know.
Stay on there.
Attraction.
Diesel.
Are they flat or do they do loops?
Are you asking if it's at an amusement park? Is that what you're asking?
Is it in Ohio? Is that what you're asking?
Are they,
Is it, is it
are
actually
they
a,
kicking the train out of Ohio too?
is it actually just a roller coaster?
Now, Van, this is going to upset you what I'm about to tell you.
Doubt it.
The longest railway line is, of course, the Trans-Siberian Railway.
Oh, I thought that was a musical group.
I know. That's why I knew it would upset you guys. That's why I was.
Again, just Siberian Railway, please.
Yeah, sorry. Again, not going to read kilometers, but I've done the conversion here. 5,700 miles.
It's like here to Santa Fe twice. It's pretty long.
It's it's further than what you just described.
Is it really?
Yep, a lot. These are good facts. Now I got some fun ones for you guys. The longest passenger train ever ran in Belgium in 1991 had 70 cars, boys.
Now that's like from here to Santa Fe twice.
Yeah. Now which car would you get on?
Next to last.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Steve?
The front one.
Oh, you're driving this bad
Yeah,
boy?
you the engineer, you conductor.
Hey, you know nothing about
Why not?
maglev.
What are you doing?
You don't know.
Yeah,
How,
dude.
you don't know how to drive a maglev train.
Yeah.
Who are you, Nikola Tesla?
Yeah. Did you create the death ray? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to get in the front?
I'll go right into Tesla
See
fun
what's
facts.
coming.
The smallest passenger train. Are you ready?
Mhm.
The narrow gauge train.
Trans versus the Taos Gorge.
Gorge.
Well, now you know. You're all trained out.
Trained up.
And if all training camps are about to start. You like
Pretty good
that?
segue.
I
It's
got
not
you.
bad. It's
Oh,
not. It's not bad.
Wasn't great.
Nah, not great for sure.
Easy.
Do you want to derail this? More train puns.
Just want to gouge it.
I really thought I was saying it correctly, so it's kind of hurt my heart that
They called you out?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who called you out?
Nobody.
Cumbris or Toltec? Which one called you out?
both.
Okay. That's how you know it's serious.
Have you ever been on that train?
I have not.
You should go on it.
I would like to do that.
It's very cool.
Beautiful.
You've done it?
No.
I've seen it. Just make sure they're all steamed up before you take off because you don't want them to run out.
So I have a fear that if I were to
Trains.
get on this train, no, not of trans, Steve.
I said trains.
Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
I have a fear that when I got on the train, I would make the noises that a child would make on a train.
Uh-huh.
I would
Yeah.
go chugga,
Oh,
chugga,
man.
chugga,
Yeah.
chugga, 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 chugga.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I think I would prefer. I've been on one train. It was an Amtrak train from here to St. Louis. This was during COVID, and there was no one else on the train.
Just you.
It was like in a horror movie.
I've been in that situation before, and it's really fun.
It was so fun.
I had a cabin to my a
Mhm.
whole car to
Had
myself
Train
before.
to yourself.
Not a cabin, a whole car to myself.
I had a whole car to myself as well.
Yeah.
And I was like yodeling and stuff, which is
Yeah.
a thing I've never done in my whole life. But because I could,
Yeah. If I could do that again, I would choose to do it.
I took the train from here to Chicago.
that's similar to the trip
Yeah.
I took.
Yeah. It's a long
It's the same
trip.
train.
It's a long trip.
Fred got off earlier.
Clarksville.
Giggity.
Took it there and back.
I feel that if you're going to grab a train like across the country
Okay.
and you're going to go to like a St. Louis or a Chicago like we just recommended, if you leave Albuquerque like midday, you get all the beauty of going north and into the mountains. And by the time it's dark, you're over like Kansas and stuff. And you can just sleep through it all.
Not missing anything.
Yeah, the super boring overnight Kansas part. And then by the time the sun comes up, you're near your destination. Good plan, as I see it.
Yeah. I don't think you have options because the Route 66 Amtrak train leaves once. And you get to have that time.
Yeah.
I can't think of like a more relaxing form of transportation.
I love it.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
I for real love riding trains.
And there's no TSA.
There is, but they're just awful at their job.
I don't feel like anyone even asked for my ID. I'm not sure if anyone checked my ticket
During COVID?
during COVID.
Probably not. Because they weren't working.
Well, I was on the
Who do you
train.
think was driving the train? The conductor?
Well, if we're talking about the Steelers, Mike Tomlin.
Ugh,
Do you like that one?
no.
Go to sportsanimalabq.com.
For what?
Get your chance to ride the train.
Yep.
And ride.
Even though you're a regular on this program, Steve, and we do the show from your store, you can still go to sportsanimalabq.com.
Yeah.
You could win this train ride, dude.
I might enter.
You should. You just said how amazing it was.
And then
It
you
is
can take
amazing.
3 friends, and there are 3 of us here. Kaylina will be late. She'll miss the train. But Van and I would be in.
Well,
I'm always on time,
the train is
except for
always
when
on
there's a
time.
chair wedged in between my bumper and a conveyor belt at a car wash. Then that tends to set me back a little bit.
The only other time I was on a train was going from St. Louis to Detroit. This is not accurate, but another time that I was on a train going from St. Louis to Detroit, it hit like a cow. And then the train had to pull over for a very long amount of time.
So it actually hit a domestic livestock mammal,
Mhm.
or is that a phrase that I don't know of?
No, that's
Hey, that thing hit like a cow, bro.
what does that mean?
That's what I'm asking.
That's like, what'd you say earlier? Hitting it real,
Oh, kick it real with
kicking it real.
you. Kicking it really real with you.
Yeah. My mom and sister were on a train in California, and
Oh, that's cool.
somebody jumped in front of it,
Did
delayed them a little bit.
they make it?
No.
Oh, that would have been a cool trick.
I don't love that story that you just told me.
I know. I was just relating to the story that you said.
Did buses come and pick the people up off the train?
No, they just waited until it was clear, and then they took off.
Was it raining? Like, what do you mean for it to be clear?
The human debris, I believe,
Pretty much.
cleared the, I'm assuming, organs everywhere.
No.
Yeah, I had to clear that up.
Now we know.
It's like a big, big vacuum, I'm assuming.
Apparently, that was a thing that happens out there.
Well, I mean, I think that's
It's
at
kinda
least
like the
since
bridges.
Yeah.
since 1806.
Yeah. Sure.
Could you imagine the rush right before? It's going to be incredible.
No. 2 men on, live from the Duke store. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. All right, Steve.
Yes.
What you're going to have to do is admit. You're going to have to admit that Canada is superior in every single way.
We do.
Reigning NBA MVP, reigning NHL MVP, reigning Major League Baseball MVP. Admit
Which
it.
one was that?
Well, finals or playoffs MVP.
Yeah. World Series MVP.
World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Just admit it, Steve.
No.
Oh, Canada.
I got one.
Okay.
Well, it's
The
fine.
weather. Okay, the weather. Besides the weather, superior in every way.
And
Sure.
their NFL players need to step it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the streak ends this NFL season. Sorry, guys. Unless, who do we say last? Chase Brown. Unless Chase Brown, Cincinnati Bengals running back, wins Super Bowl MVP this coming year, the streak will come to a close.
So remind me who the NFL MVP was last year,
Oh, the finals?
or whoever's Canadian.
I believe it's Jalen Hurts.
Oh, he's Canadian.
He apologizes.
Didn't mention NFL. I'm saying
Okay.
the championship MVP streak will end with the NFL this season.
Okay.
But they got 3 major sports in a row. Go
Gotcha.
Canada.
Yeah, good for them.
Beady-eyed, floppy-headed weirdos.
A.
Okay, you're next.
They have
B.
Fosters.
That's Australia.
C.
Senor.
Is Freddie Freeman
He's
super
Canadian.
Canadian?
Totally
I think I feel like he's from like Orange County.
Dual citizenship.
Is that what it is?
His fam's from Canada.
There you go. I think a lot of Canadians have dual citizenship.
Not anymore.
Oh, yeah, touche. There's also
Do
weird.
you have
New
dual
sheriff in town.
citizenship?
Yeah.
What countries?
This one, the United States of America.
That's
And-
good.
Yeah, and then another one.
What's the other one?
I don't like to talk about my other.
Could
country.
you? Could you get citizenship somewhere else?
So I thought you were saying could you was a country somewhere, and I was trying to like place that dialect on where that would be. I don't think so. Now, are you talking like if I met like a lovely lady from Puerto Rico or
No, I'm talking
something?
about just your family heritage. If some ancestors were from a particular country that you were close enough to, that you can claim citizenship.
Well, I live in the United States, like
Yeah.
What
I understand that.
like, and I don't know all the different parts of the British Isles.
Correct.
Like
No,
I don't.
no one does.
No one does.
Not
It's-
even them.
it's been
Especially them.
it's been lost for ages.
hmm They used to have dragons, Steve.
Are you aware of that?
That's what I heard.
From
King
Uh,
Arthur.
House of Dragons,
Nice.
yeah, is that a just want to make
Game
sure.
of Thrones. Do you have? Can you have dual citizenship, Van?
I believe I could.
Where?
I believe it would be Ireland and or England,
Nice.
because my family was Irish long, long ago, and they were stolen, relocated to England, and exploited for labor.
Hmm.
Changed their last name.
So they're trying to have you back?
What'd they change it to? Or from?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, I don't know what it's from.
No, what was it before Nunley?
That's the
Is
million
that
dollar
the-
question.
Is that the name?
That's the farm and
Yeah.
farming region where my people were relocated to, change their last name.
Statistically, it's probably O Nunley.
Or Nunya?
Nunley is the English name they were given.
Because they'd asked them, "What's your last name?" And they said Nunya,
Oh, that's
and
good.
we're like, "No, we're changing that."
Well, no, they probably asked them their name, and they said some gibberish in Gaelic, and they're like, Nunley it is.
Mhm.
Cool.
Oh, something.
Oh,
What-
Nunley.
What country is Funky Town?
Yeah.
I'd probably have dual citizenship there.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not sure where the country is. I
Now,
know the capital.
I don't know
is
how.
Funky Town.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know how citizenship doesn't work with towns.
Not with that attitude, it
It's like
doesn't.
country only, unless you're talking about like a sovereign state or something like Venice,
Yeah,
which this weekend booked
Like-
up.
Vatican City, Funky Town, potato, same thing.
Cahokia.
You're gonna what?
So
You're doing what?
it's the original city on this, in North America.
What is it?
It's that original.
Santa Fe.
Probably accurate. $550,000 per day. That's what Cristiano Ronaldo gets for signing his new deal with Al Nassr. He also gains an ownership role.
This Al guy's got some money. Who was it?
Riyadh. It's a Saudi thing.
Riyadh. It's capital of Saudi Arabia.
Also known as Funky Town.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
There's no funk there.
Now, I'm going to say something that's going to sound funny, but this is not a punchline.
Mm.
My little puny monkey brain does not understand how much money that is.
Well, yeah.
$550,000 a day?
For how long?
All.
Till the end of time.
That is
It's a lot.
so much money.
It's a lot of maglev trains.
If you were like, hey, I'm trying to like get a project done or whatever, and someone's like, cool, like how much money do you have? You're like, well, like I'm doing good today, but tomorrow I'm gonna have $500,000 more every day. This can't be real, right?
It's, I mean, the concept of money, is that what you're talking about? Because none of it's real. But like to them, yeah, sure. Did the check cash?
$185 million annually, $15 million per month, $3.8 million per week, and $550,000 per day.
Don't stop there. How much per hour?
It gets harder. It gets so much harder.
550 divided by.
Some. So take that, Real Madrid and Manchester United.
It's
Did he get drafted?
20,
NBA?
basically $23,000 an hour.
I break that down to
You got it. That is $390 a minute.
all right. One more time by 60.
Okay. Right, one more time. And that would be $6.30 a second.
That's not that much.
6, 12.
18.
Oh, are we still going?
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
24,
It's going to get harder.
30,
Ooh, good job.
36,
Wu Tang.
42,
Jackie Robinson.
48. I mean, that's like,
A lot.
yeah. Got his record. It's 105 games played, 93 goals, 19 assists. So he's averaging basically one a game.
How much an hour?
20, a little short of $23,000.
Good work if you can get it. Like,
And Messi only makes 20 million a year, that loser.
so you can only use a private jet sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
This is that kind of money where every is a private jet. Also, like a public jet
Probably
becomes
just-
private.
Probably just gave him a jet too, right? You would think.
Yes. I mean, and I get that he earned it, but that's more than everyone in this country will earn in a lifetime.
Almost
Almost.
6 or 7 dudes.
Like a very small amount of dudes. And then they marry a gal from Sandia High,
Nice.
which is crazy to think about.
It's bonkers.
Yeah, it is.
And now they run Venice all weekend. Crazy. If you have that type of money, you have to make every single effort to fix every problem on earth. That's my opinion. And I know that that's not enough money to do that, but you put it towards that stuff, I think.
Yeah, poverty and Portugal is going to get a lot better.
Well, put it in perspective. At this salary, I'm running the math right here. It would take them roughly 100 years to become the richest man on earth. That's the difference of where we're currently at.
Who actually has money? Whoever is signing the bottom of that check.
It's Saudi Arabia. That thing.
Saudi royal family.
Also, it's kind of chump change in the point of view of Saudi Arabia. I mean, it's beyond nuts to us, but it's cool. Here's how they get that sports thing. Whatever NFL they end up building over there will be the business.
I would doubt they do NFL, but I bet they slowly do every other sport.
I bet they do golf.
They're coming for basketball. Basketball's next.
Yeah. They already got pro wrestling. I think we've talked about this before. Looks like their thing might end up being canceled because of war, but
Bummer.
There you go. Ronaldo is worth all the money. It's 2 men on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. Welcome back to 2 Men On, 10 going on in the world of sports. We're giving it to you. Bunch of weird rumors about conference realignment in college football. You guys see any of this stuff?
A little bit.
A little bit of a merry-go-round, as they say. It looks like Texas State is leaving the Sun Belt for the Pac-12. What?
Pac is in Pacific, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
I tell you, that don't make a ton of sense to me.
Pac-12 is like at 34 teams now.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
Louisiana Tech is leaving for Conference USA, or excuse me, is leaving Conference USA to replace Texas Tech in the Sun Belt.
Texas State.
Yes, I apologize. So Conference USA will likely remain at 11 schools in 2026.
Cool.
What if we all just like regionally hung out?
New Mexico State's joining the Mountain West.
If New Mexico leaves for the Pac-12,
If or when.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
In San Diego State, who's always in the headlines for the Pac-12, or how once upon a time it was the Big 12 or whatever. Now it's every weird school geographically. And maybe there's like a TV market I don't know about or something. That's why the Big 10 works so well. It's only in huge metro markets. It's like super smart. Conference realignment. And then Sac State's got some weird stuff going on too now. Have you guys seen this stuff?
They're going to grow real fast.
Pac-12 actually has 8 teams,
Which 8?
according to this. Oregon State, Washington State,
Let's go.
Boise State, Fresno State, all the state schools. San Diego State, Colorado State, Utah State, and Gonzaga State.
Sac State wants to become an FBS school to play college football.
Don't like Gonzaga's chances in football.
Why?
Do not have a team.
Non-football.
It's going to slow them down.
Slow them down a lot.
They need a quarterback for sure.
That's where you'd start.
Yep.
No, actually, I would do stadium first and then coach, then quarterback.
Are they already in?
No, hold on. A football first.
Are they in a conference?
Gonzaga?
Yeah.
The aforementioned Pac-8.
So to me, it seems like that is a good first step because now there's 7 other teams you could play.
Well, yeah, you don't just go to the park and play by yourself. That'd be weird.
Especially without a quarterback.
You know, that's what you need first.
QB.
Friends.
Oh, well, I was going to say like a twinkle in your eye
Oh.
for the idea of playing football at Gonzaga. Also, go ahead and just play your games in Seattle somewhere.
Need a dome, probably.
Not where Gonzaga is.
Doesn't rain there?
There's like a rain shed thing.
That's cool.
Rocky Mountains, dude. It's wild.
You can just play in the old A's stadium and
In Spokane.
wherever they played.
Smart.
Well, I mean, can you put a FBS? How many are there? 131? Is that right? I mean, you don't want to show up me the 132nd and then have the 132nd stadium. Like, that's embarrassing.
You play in the Raiders Oakland Stadium.
So I was talking about Spokane, but you're talking about Sacramento.
I don't know. Just making stuff up. Just trying to be relevant here.
In the case of Sacramento State, it's pretty weird that they're suing the entity that they want to be part of.
Yeah, they went in.
Did they ask nicely first? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
and they tried to get like a waiver and they asked for some grace. And by the way, like I mess with like state sports entities often. They suck. So I imagine this conference thing sucks too. But they just want some of that coin. There's so much money right now.
Yeah.
Go get that coin. Or so I think. Now the cat that Sacramento State got, like their lawyer, whenever they lawyered up, which is what they say to do,
Mm-hmm.
he's represented like NASCAR and antitrust lawsuits and stuff. So like he's super in that world. Sports and suing for dumb reasons. Also, let me take that back. I don't think it's a dumb reason. Get football money.
You're Sacramento, like California. It's a huge market. Why wouldn't the NCAA want them there immediately?
They're saying publicly they still plan to play in 2026. So do you just like make a schedule without college football?
I mean, whoever will play you.
And Shaq's there now, right?
He's like their operations face of the athletic department guy.
At Sacramento State.
Mm-hmm.
Sac State.
Shaq State.
Shaq State.
Oh,
Everyone knows that.
yep.
Him spurning LSU for Sac State was
Yeah.
very funny.
Yeah.
Why him?
Why now?
I don't think he's super into LSU. Similar to the way that like Ben Simmons isn't super into LSU. I think
Yeah.
there's like a weird after you leave LSU. In the world of basketball, I don't know if that's true for football, but it's not the business. And also there's so much talent in California.
Yeah.
Like if Shaq State, sorry, Steve. If Shaq State figures out a way to be like financially relevant or whatever way, they can get a bunch of like transfers and do a bunch. They can be competitive in a year.
And his only connection there is his son goes there. Something. His daughter. Who's playing there?
So
For
Shaq.
Shaq?
Well, if you remember, he used to call them the Sacramento Queens.
I didn't remember that, but so that's his connection.
That he hated Mike Bibby,
So now he's there to help them.
the kids at the college. He's the opposite of George Pickens.
Not only did he diss LSU,
Mm-hmm.
but also the Western University Dolphins did some time there as well.
You're talking about blue chips?
I am talking about blue chips, yes.
Steve, you ever seen blue chips?
I don't think so.
When we get back from the break, Van gives you the entire synopsis to blue chips.
It's a must-see. Nick Nolte's best work.
Blue corn chips
It's 2
and
minutes.
salsa.
95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal. Coach Pete Bell, Steve.
Word up.
Old school college basketball coach.
Definitely inspired by Bobby Knight, but a flashy West Coast Bobby Knight.
Western University Dolphins.
Based out of Los Angeles, California, Steve.
And his team sucks.
Is that basketball?
It's basketball.
I mean, Pete Bell, really, he's struggling because his best days are behind him.
Yeah.
And the once prominent and strong program of the Western University Dolphins is in decline.
They can't beat a rec league team.
He knows that all these other programs are paying their players. But for years, he's taken the moral high ground, Steve, and he will not pay his players. But he sees his future flashing in front of his eyes. And in a desperate attempt.
Well, it's not him, though. It's the boosters.
In a desperate attempt to maintain relevance, he allows all of this to happen around him. Turns a blind eye to what the boosters are doing to get all of these.
That part's accurate.
Name of the movie, blue chip players.
Not a bag of Doritos.
By any means necessary.
No, just money.
Oh.
So he gets these 3 recruits. Neon Boudreaux, who is Shaq.
Correct, Shaq.
He can bench press a Buick, so just heads up. Butch McRae, who is, as you know, Penny Hardaway.
Everybody knows that.
Everyone knows that. And then Little Penny. No, I'm just kidding. Ricky Rowe, who's a white guy.
Yeah.
Bob,
you gotta have a white.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, Steve.
Yes.
And we mentioned this earlier about Pete Bell.
Yes.
Played by Nick Nolte.
Yes.
He knows these kids aren't there to get a good education or a chance to grow as men.
He knows that.
Oh, yeah.
It's clear.
They want houses for their moms, jobs for their dads, and a Lexus.
Pretty close. They're pretty close.
You know what the boosters say?
No way.
No problem.
We got you.
Yeah.
If this will catapult us back into national relevance. List Dexic.
Gouge.
George.
Now,
and things are too good to be true, Steve, because the local sports writer, Ed, played by Ed O'Neill,
yes,
smells something fishy.
Well,
in the Pacific waters
because they were slinging envelopes of cash around, Steve.
He knew something was up.
Yeah, because he knows that morals aren't a downloadable DLC that you can just overlook, Steve.
What's the moral of this story?
I mean, you got to pay to
Is
play.
there one?
Yeah. The moral is
eventually your conscience kicks in.
30 years later, NIL is legal.
Once you're dominating. So we were telling you about Pete Bell earlier, the coach.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes into a press conference where often there's like a sports drink on the counter, but instead he just goes in there and spills tea.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
confesses to all the violations.
His conscience got the best of him.
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
Exposes the whole shabazzle.
It's like when you were a young Catholic boy in confession, Steve.
Is that right?
Yeah, but he speed runs it and then quits and then drops the mic and then just kind of bounces without consequence. That part is actually that part's kind of sus.
Sus.
Yeah. So the moral is, just because I know you asked that earlier.
I did.
Yeah, which I didn't get a chance to answer yet. If you're not cheating,
you ain't trying.
Yeah. But also cheating makes you sad. So put that part in there. Especially if everyone around you is 7 foot tall.
How tall is Penny Hardaway?
I'm going to say 6'6".
Oh, yeah. 6.5, I'd say, somewhere around there. One
Shaq-
thing
Shaq
that
did good in that movie.
he did good. Everybody did
Looked
good.
It's a good movie.
Tall.
Ahead of its time in the
Say,
sports world,
yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
They never gave any resolution to if Coach's wife ever taught Neon how to read. That
Yeah,
was never clarified.
that part was a little confusing.
But he did go to an elementary school once, and it was really cute.
Yeah. He had the grammar of a broken fax machine.
And what exactly is that?
In Penny Hardaway, Butch McRae, he made Butter jealous of how smooth he was.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, these are all facts, Steve. And you're asking about blue chips. We're trying to tell you about.
I was not asking about blue chips.
Oh, we're telling.
I
Yeah.
think you mentioned it.
The white kid
Along the
wanted a
lines of
tracker.
Mighty Ducks. Huh?
The white kid wanted the tractor.
Did
That's,
he get it?
That's real. That's part of the story. He wanted a tractor.
He just wanted a new tractor for his dad's farm.
Yeah.
And not only did he get a tractor, he got a tractor and a whole bag of cash.
Yeah. Because he
Saved
wanted,
the family farm.
he wanted to plow through defenses and fields. He wanted to plow through fields.
Is this based on a true story?
Yeah, blue chips.
Yes, it's based on a true story.
Of-
The history of college basketball.
I mean, this is once the wind starts, Steve, that's when your conscience gets the best of you.
Ricky Rowe blew his knee, though, ruined his career, went back home and wrestled the family
hogs.
farm.
Yeah, wrestled hogs.
And obviously, for Neon and Butch, there were no real consequences because they're so good. They just went on and played in the NBA.
And then Pete, who really was his soul, who started airballing.
Correct.
Yeah.
He rekindled his love of the game of basketball at a lower level of competition as he retired from college to go where basketball is most pure, and he taught in high school.
Yeah. But technically, that press conference was a technical foul, so I don't know if he could be back. Steve.
Sounds like a great movie.
Yeah. Like all the reporters at that press conference, their jaw hit the floor harder than when LeBron flops.
No way. Yeah. I don't think that's possible.
It's very hard.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Incredibly hard.
Well, and, you know, the moral of the story, Steve, I know I had mentioned that.
There's
earlier.
a few morals.
Yeah. Sometimes the biggest W is a forfeit.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's the moral of the story.
Thought you were going to say the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
It was a flop in the theaters, if you could imagine.
Yeah.
But really made up for it. It had a second wind with cassette and DVD sales.
Cassette sales?
VHS cassettes. Have you seen Hoosiers?
What's that?
Okay. So it's like if Hoosiers had shoe deals and lies and lots of that.
And black kids.
So if it had two specifically, two really good ones, that's sports. Also, no dolphins, I think, in that part of the world. I'm not trying to
Correct.
put an emphasis on a part of the story that's not crucial, but
Not the biggest plot hole, but one of them.
Where were they based?
Los Angeles, California.
No dolphins there?
Porpoises.
Oh.
Yeah. They have porpoises on that side.
yeah. Those kids, even though they all became filthy rich, even the tractor kid, they were exploited. So I just want to make sure we know that.
And then when Coach Pete Bell was fired in disgrace, he went to coach.
After that.
Went to coach high school basketball. He found his porpoise.
Did we talk about the MLB All-Star game?
Yep, earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Everyone knows that.
Aaron Judge in his new shiny necklace.
Make sure and cover that.
No St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
Steve, final words from the Duke store?
Do they still field the team there? St. Louis?
It's a good one.
Thanks for being here. Making a bad day even
Worse.
better.
Yep. Can Lena back at the studio?
Nope.
Yeah, we'll get her one day.
She was too busy downloading blue chips
Yeah.
onto her phone. A little bit distracted.
She's looking
Van, final words?
Oh my goodness, too much for the time allotted, my friend. Anything that we didn't cover, check out tomorrow morning on the opening drive with Jeff and JJ.
Good job, everyone. Not Kalina. Keep breathing.
See you at the Y tomorrow, Burke.